your process and your journey cannot execute fully if you are not intentionally, acting towards it. And what I mean by that is anything you do must be geared towards executing on your given goal, whatever that looks like for you.
Welcome to the Awaken the Awesome podcast with your host, Olivier D. This is Awaken the Awesome, a podcast where we acknowledge that we are all in this together. Through enlightening conversations and personal insights, we like to engage with individuals just like you, who show us how they are bringing a little bit of awesomeness along their individual journeys. Our hope is to inspire you to always keep pushing and to stay awesome along the way.
How is everybody? I hope these words find you well and blessed, as you are part of the ATA tribe. So anytime that, we can get to connect, the first thing I want to start out with is always letting everybody know how, from my heart to wherever these words find you, that you are well, blessed, safe, healthy, and putting in, every significant step towards your own journey. I don't say that lightly. I wanted to come on real quick because kind of an anecdote yesterday that happened to me, and I felt that it was a message I wanted to share. So I'm going to tell you that story, and then I'm going to get to my point. So yesterday I was at work, and I do get a lunch break between 12 and 1. So from time to time, sometimes just not to fall back into my workaholic tendencies, what I like to do, I usually like to go to either for a drive or go for a walk or go read in my car or just listen to some podcasts. But sometimes I also like to go to my local bookstore, which is really not too far, and just like lose myself in the book aisle, see what's up. And over the past couple of weeks, I've been wanting, since I am a comic book nerd, well, not much of a nerd. I just like, growing up, there were always a bunch of comic books which I wanted. And so I always told myself when I was a bigger adult and I could afford it, that I was always trying my best to, build my collection of comic books. So living in Montreal, one of the big things I've been really big on, especially when I was in college, I always liked to go to the bookstore very often. But I'm digressing. Anyway, so I was at lunch and I went off to the bookstore and I went into the comic book aisles. And I've also, thanks to my brother, I've also become a big fan of Japanese manga. So basically Japanese comic books for those in the know. So I'm a big fan of Japanese manga. So I was like, hey, let me start a new collection because I got a few. But I'm looking this particular series, and I was looking to actually, buy a couple of volumes to start building the collection slowly but surely. And I was like, okay, let me go buy, 2 or 3 and just just have something to read over the weekend. And I went to the aisle, I went to the shelf, they were all there, and I just grabbed 3, and then for like 2 seconds, I took a deep breath, and I just like, how does this serve the mission? Now, why I want to get into this is because over the past couple of months, I've been working very closely with some close partners and collaborators towards gearing ATA towards a more concise, a more structured, a more laser-focused vision, trying to define the purpose, define why we're doing what we're doing, and why the tribe is so important to that process. So I've been working a lot into defining the mission statement and understanding of why we do what we do and why I'm putting so much time and why I've been doing this for so long. Now, it was very important because these are people I trust, and these are people who've given me a lot of feedback in regards to, okay, you have to know how to define your why. Some things that I was already versed into, but it's also very good to take a step back and deconstruct your own process. And in a lot of ways, your process and your journey cannot execute fully if you are not intentionally, acting towards it. And what I mean by that is anything you do must be geared towards executing on your given goal, whatever that looks like for you. So anything outside of that is a distraction. So the little things, as much as the big things, compound can have tremendous consequences. I'm not just talking money, I'm talking energy, I'm talking health, I'm talking psychologically, emotionally. You really have to mind what you do, how you do it, and why you do it. And something as basic as, okay, going to the bookstore and like, okay, so you want to buy comic books, why exactly? And when I say I live and breathe ATA, I basically live and breathe ATA. So even as I'm stepping up to the comic book store and just like, okay, do you want to buy some comic books? And I know some of you are going to come to me and saying like, yeah, but Ali, but am I not allowed leisure time? Am I not allowed to have some time for me and just like, just buy something frivolously and just wanting to buy comic books? I totally get that, but this is just me, all right? If you can use this as an example, this is just a story. I'm not imposing this on you, right? So here I am asking myself, how does this serve the mission? I'm like, dude, you've got a bunch of manga. You've got a bunch of manga already. You got a bunch of comic books already. You have books galore, all right? How does this change your life that significantly? How does this serve the mission? How does this serve the listeners? Hey, I bought 3 volumes of Bleach over the weekend. Yeah, so, like really, you reading these, how is this going to elevate? How is this going to make you smarter? How is this going to make you, more able? How is it going to make you a better copywriter? How is it going to help you, just structure your speech and, just build better interviews? How does this secure another guest? How does this, curate, the audio quality for the podcast? How does this help us write the book? How does this help us, just get on some speaking gigs? How does this serve the mission? And if the answer is no, again, it's a distraction. You have to come to terms with yourself. I'm not just talking money, because I could buy the whole collection right now if I wanted to. But the thing is, you have to learn the difference between a want and a need. Yeah, sure, I want them, but do I need them right now? Is that something that I need right now? You need to be focused on what you need right now. What serves your goal right now? What serves your purpose right now? What serves your journey right now? You need to be able to ask that question every single time. What serves the mission? How does this serve the mission? Do you need to go back to school? Do you need to stop seeing certain people? Do you need to stop drinking certain things? Do you need to stop ingesting certain content? Do you need to stop eating certain foods? Do you need to read better? Who do you need to associate with? What masterminds do you need to join? What focus groups do you need to join? What kind of therapy do you need? What kind of words do you need to speak to yourself? How does this serve the mission? Every single action that you take in every single day in every single way has a tremendous impact on your overall journey, and you need to be dialed in and laser focused into that. And of course, I just went a little bit further. I just want to backtrack a little bit. I keep saying, how does this serve the mission? I invite you greatly and strongly to know what that mission looks like for you. Because every company worth its name has a mission statement, why you do what you do. And I invite you, as it was also suggested to me, to actually browse the internet, browse some large brands, small brands, and actually go to the company profile and look and research their mission statement to see how a company guides itself. How does a company guide itself? How does a company structure itself? And how does this constitute what could be considered, the guiding compass of why we do what we do? I am not me, I'm not you. Your circumstances might be different from my own, but you also need to understand why you do what you do. And you also need to have a mission statement for your life. Why is it that you want what you want? Why does this motivate you? Why do you go to this job? Why do you do what you do? Why do you associate with certain people? Why do you, talk to yourself a certain way? Why do you wake up at a certain time? Why do you go to sleep at a certain time? Why do you not do this? Why do you not do that? Is it fear? Is it opportunity? Is it exposure? Is it internal dialogue? What is your mission? Why do you do what you do? What kind of a husband do you need to be? What kind of a partner do you need to be? What kind of a colleague do you need to be? How do you react to these circumstances? What are your triggers? What is your mission? Why do you do what you do? It could be very, very difficult questions for you to ask. And there's also a very good book that I recommend, not just as a conversation starter, but that's the actually book's name, 4,000 Questions to Start a Conversation. But I will leave it in the post. I will leave a link to the post, like once this recording is done. I believe that it's called 4,000 Conversation Starters, 4,000 Questions to start a conversation. Anyway, why I love that book is because as much as it can be a good conversation, whether with your spouse, with your significant other, with some friends, because everybody talks about the weather, the traffic, politics, money, salary, job, all that crap, right? Or the latest TikTok. But you can also broaden your horizon a little bit and actually engage in some very powerful conversation when you read that up. So yeah, 4,000 examples of conversation, even to have with yourself. And it's really cool because it covers, relationships, it covers psychology, it covers daily habits, family history. It's so cool. Just a bunch of questions, and you'd be surprised when you ask those questions to yourself how much you can learn about yourself, because we're all growing, right? But still talking about the mission, you need to know who you are, guys. You need to know who you are. You need to to know why you do what you do. I'm repeating myself, but that is one of the biggest tools you can give yourself along your journey. We are not static. We are human beings. We're not static. We are made to evolve. We are made to grow, and growth is a beautiful thing. So yeah, always ask yourself why you do what you do. Is what you're doing serving your mission? And what is your mission? Just want to jump here 2 seconds. Always happy to talk to you guys. Have a terrific Saturday. If anything, as always, I wish you nothing but the best. Blessings, health, and every single step counts. Just stay consistent. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay awesome.
This has been another episode of the Awaken the Awesome podcast. We always love to get your feedback, so please do drop us a line via Instagram, Facebook, or email. Our email address, awakentheawesome@gmail.com. Do visit our official website at awakentheawesome.ca, where you can find our entire back catalog of episodes and incredible guests. Also, if you haven't already, please hop on over to Apple Podcasts and subscribe, give us a rating, and leave us a review, as this helps us tremendously in growing this podcast and spreading the word to more awesome listeners like you. We always appreciate your support, and thank you for listening. Stay awesome.